Following a weekend off, the men's hockey team returns to the Kohl Center ice to host Big Ten rival Michigan on Friday and Saturday. Both games will begin at 7 p.m., be televised by the Wisconsin channel. Head coach Mike Eaves is here, and we'll take questions.
Good week of practice prior to heading into this week, Mike?
Yeah, it was an interesting week for us. Being this time of season, we gave the kids a couple different looks this week. We had an optional day on Monday. We went Tuesday, Wednesday as a team. They had a school day on Thursday, and then they came back Friday, Saturday, and had Sunday off. So they were able to, take care of some of those distractions in their life in terms of school so that they could perform at a higher level for us. So I think it was a good week. And when they were on the ice, we tried to simulate game pace and such, and I think we look at it as a good week.
Simulating game pace, is it possible to simulate the talent that Michigan's going to bring on that first line? Can you see it on video? Can you kind of emphasize it? Can you do anything more than that?
I think we have this group this year can certainly simulate better than last year's group in terms of some of the talent, but the length and the range of their guys, it would be tough to do. But in terms of the pace and how we practiced, we did some of those things this week and competed a lot of one puck drills. So I think in terms of making it as close to as we can as game simulation, we did a good job of that.
Going down memory lane a little bit, can you kind of refresh our memory about the line that you played on in 1977? I said going down memory lane a little bit, but the line you had and what made that line in particular special?
Well, if I guess I want to specify, you're talking about the line of Steve Alley and Tom Alseth. Is that? Yeah. Well, that was the year we won it, and I think that anytime you look at a forward line, if you look at the great lines in the National Hockey League, and one line that comes to mind was Brian Trottier and Mike Bossy, and then their left winger, they would rotate guys in there. I think in a group of three, there's two guys that have a great chemistry. Then a third guy will bring a complementary aspect to that line, where they're like Clark Gillies was a very physical player, and he had a physical presence in front of the net, and they would move him in there. They would move other guys in and out once they got a little bit stale. So I think in the line that we had, Tommy was a big, strong right winger. Steve had a little bit more flair, but could play that physical game, and I felt like my game was all around, so that I could jump in there and dish the puck or go get the puck a little bit. So there is definitely a chemistry that comes, but they're all not the same, and that's a big part of having a successful line. They bring different things to the game.
Andy?
Mike, when you go see a recruit and bring a recruit in here, can you have a sense that they're going to be a leader for you, a guy who's going to wear a letter someday? And if so, what was your evaluation of a guy like Cameron Hughes when you were going to watch him and before he came in here?
When you watch young people play, you can actually get an X-ray vision of their character. I believe that. I believe, by the way, when you watch them all over the ice, when things go well on the ice, how do they react? When things don't go well, how do they react on and off the bench? Do you see them going over and picking up a teammate when he's down or maybe hit the post or he didn't have a great shift? So you can, by being tuned into different aspects of the game, you can kind of get an X-ray vision of who they are. And one thing that is for sure, once you get to know families, like you can tell the families that have talked about selflessness and leadership, and you can kind of pick that up when they come in their official visit if the parents come. As I've gotten to know Adam's mom and dad, and Adam was a pretty good leader for us, it was quite obvious that they talked about those kind of things at home, about being selfless, about looking out for your teammate, about making people around you better. So it starts at home. I've come to believe that firmly in the years that we've been doing this. And Cameron is of that same mold. I mean, I remember when they moved down here, they all came in an RV. All four boys came with mom and dad, and we were able to greet them. And when we were hanging out with them, you could just tell the way they carried themselves in the conversation and how they were pleased and thank you, and just all those little things add up that they've been taught how to do things right like a leader does.
Mike, a lot of goals scored last time you played Michigan. Do you expect something similar this weekend?
Well, I would like the trend for us to continue to score against them and to hold them back a little bit. We flirted with winning both those games there, and I remember when Red came off the bench on Saturday night. He was like the little old time hockey. They're up and down, a lot of goals, and I think that we continue to work on those areas that will affect that our line rush against us into our own defensive zone coverage. If we can continue to improve on that, then we can give ourselves a chance to win. It's funny, last night everybody watched the Super Bowl, and offense wins games, but defense wins championships. And if we can tighten that up and continue to get better at that, that's going to serve us well as we go down the stretch.
Do you go into a series like this expecting to win both games, or is that realistic? Do you focus more on effort? How do you approach something like this?
Well, one of the things we've talked about is that we've flirted beating a lot of pretty good teams, and that flirtation's got in. We got to get over that hump, and I, going to borrow a quote from Brett Bielema, but I firmly believe that our focus is on Friday night. Our goal is to be 1-0, and then when that's done, we put that aside, and we got to get into Saturday and be 1-0. But it's that simplistic, and I believe, and I think our young men believe, if we play the way what we're capable of and we continue to improve as we have been, we give ourselves a chance to be successful.
Would you say you're pretty healthy? Like everybody, I think, was skating last week.
Yeah, no, I think health is, it's amazing what a bye week will do. And we have to be intelligent in the way we practice and hold guys out of certain drills, because we don't want to be silly in terms of exposing them to getting dinged up again. But this time of year, right now, we're relatively healthy, yes.
Mike Corbett McGuire, is he going to stay on defense?
At least for Friday night's game until we get Eddie back. Yeah, I mean, he continues to take reps in practice. And, for him, he's just playing hockey. Whether he's a forward or defenseman, he's doing the right things in the position that he's in. And, and I know on our big sheet of ice, the one thing that Coach Luke liked a lot was the fact that he could skate and go back and get pucks. And that was a big asset for us. And so, yes, Friday night for sure he'll be there.